Santorini begins with light. The island rises from the Aegean in curves of volcanic stone, its slopes descending into water, its villages balanced along ridges. Houses of white plaster align in sequence, domes painted blue repeat against the sky, terraces descend in constancy toward the Caldera. The impression is not spectacle but rhythm. White after white, dome after dome, stair after stair. The Caldera, vast and unbroken, defines Santorini. Formed by volcanic eruption millennia ago, it curves in a great semicircle, its cliffs falling into the sea. Water fills its depth, reflections shimmer, boats pass in cycles. Along the edge, settlements extend. Fira Firostefani Imerovigli Oia. Each village distinct, yet each dissolves into cadence. White houses, narrow alleys, bell towers, terraces. The caldera is not chaos, it is geometry shaped in stone and water. Approaching the island by sea, the cliffs rise in layers. Black and red volcanic rock stacked in sequence, villages perched above, their white facades reflecting white. Ferries arrive in intervals, docking at Athenios, passengers disembarking in cycles. Cars ascend in curves, buses follow in rhythm, steps rise unbroken. The island breathes in cadence. The first impression of Santorini is of contrast softened to order. The sea vast and blue, the cliffs dark and layered, the villages white and luminous. Yet variety dissolves into persistence. Water flows, cliffs endure, houses repeat. The island does not alter in essence. It endures. The sound is subdued into cadence. Waves strike in cycles against stone. Footsteps echo on pavements. Conversations drift and hum. Bells of churches ring in intervals. Gulls call above. Wind moves across terraces. Silence fills between softening impressions. The island does not overwhelm. It breathes in rhythm. History lingers in this first view. The eruption that formed the caldera left layers of ash, stone, and memory. Settlements rose and fell. Trade passed through. Travelers arrived and departed. Yet the geography remained. Cliffs and sea, terraces and domes. The island does not alter in essence, it persists. From the ridge, the sea expands on both sides. To the west, the caldera opens toward the horizon, islands of Theracia and Aspronocy aligned with them. To the east, the Aegean stretches unbroken, water shimmering, horizon dissolving. The island is not boundary, but cadence between sea and stone. Within the villages, alleys wind in constancy. Steps descend, arches frame openings, terraces align. Houses painted white reflect light and order. Doors and windows repeat in blue, green, and brown. Bougainvillea blooms in pink, blossoms arranged along walls, colors recurring in cycles. Each detail dissolves into rhythm, each impression persists. The island's geography shapes daily life in cycles. Boats depart for the volcano, ferries cross to Theracia, buses move from village to village. Sun rises, shadows fall, lamps glow. The rhythm continues, unbroken. Santorini is not novelty. It is persistence. From Oia to Fira, from Pyrgos to Akrotiri, the island repeats in cadence. Domes align, terraces descend, cliffs endure, waters shimmer. Each village distinct, yet all dissolve into order. The island is not chaos, it is constancy. The first impression of Santorini is calm when seen in rhythm. Houses do not dazzle, they align. Domes do not overwhelm, they repeat. Cliffs do not vary, they endure. Each impression mirrors the others, each rhythm persists. And so the guide begins. Santorini will unfold district by district, village by village, stone by stone. Archaeology, history, wine, and gardens will appear in sequence, dissolving into cadence. The immensity of the island will not overwhelm but soothe. The island begins with light. The island begins with stone. The island begins with rhythm, white after white, dome after dome, wave after wave. and then calm, and then silence, and then rest. Santorini rests in the southern Aegean, part of the Cyclades archipelago. Its geography is defined not by chance but by eruption, shaped millennia ago when volcanic force collapsed land into sea, leaving cliffs, islands, and a caldera vast and unbroken. The island does not appear as a single mass, but as fragments aligned. Santorini itself, Theracia, Aspranasi, Nea Kameni, and Palea Kameni, each distinct, yet all dissolve into cadence. Stone after stone, water after water, island after island. The caldera curves in semicircle, 500 meters deep in places, its cliffs rising in layers of volcanic rock. Black, red, and brown strata align, recording eruptions, centuries, and persistence. Atop these cliffs, villages perch in constancy, their white facades glowing in contrast. From below, the impression is not chaos but geometry. Dark stone rising, white houses aligned, blue domes repeating. The caldera is not disorder, it is order shaped by eruption. At its center lies Nea Kameni, the youngest of the islands formed by volcanic activity in historical time. Its surface is barren, stone black and red, craters aligned, fumaroles releasing heat in intervals. Visitors walk in cycles across paths, steps crunching on pumice, silence broken by wind. The island does not dazzle. It persists as rhythm of geology. Nearby, Palea Kameni endures as older sibling, its shores marked by hot springs, waters warmed in cycles by subterranean heat. Together, these islands reveal the persistence of volcanic force. To the west lies Theracia, smaller and quieter, yet mirroring Santorini in form. Its cliffs rise in constancy, its villages align with white facades and domes. Boats cross in cycles from Oia. Passengers disembark, wander, return. The island is not novelty, it is repetition softened into calm. The Aegean Sea surrounds, its waters vast, horizon unbroken. By day, light shimmers in patterns, waves move in rhythm, boats pass in intervals. By night, the surface reflects stars, silence deepens, cadence continues. The Aegean is not spectacle. It is constancy binding islands into archipelago. Santorini itself takes crescent shape, its arc facing west toward the caldera. Cliffs descend steeply, slopes fall in terraces, land narrows into plains to the east. Here, vineyards spread in cycles, villages align inland, fields endure. The contrast between cliff and plain dissolves into order. Land shaped by eruption, softened to habitation. The climate persists in cycles. Summers are dry, skies clear, sunlight unbroken. Winters mild, rains falling in intervals, winds shifting in rhythm. Days lengthen and shorten, seasons return. The island breathes in constancy of Mediterranean climate. The soil itself reflects origin. Volcanic, porous, rich in minerals, it absorbs little water, yet supports vines, capers, and tomatoes. Agriculture follows rhythm, planting, growth, harvest, rest. The land does not overwhelm. It provides in cadence. The cliffs of the caldera reveal layers of memory. Each stratum records eruption, each color reflects change. Beneath lies the memory of the great eruption of the second millennium BCE, when much of the island collapsed, sea rushed in, and the caldera formed. Villages buried, landscapes reshaped, yet the island persisted. The cliffs themselves are testimony in rhythm, eruption, collapse, renewal, persistence. The winds shape Santorini in constancy. The Monotone blows in summer, cooling air, moving across terraces, rustling vines. Breezes shift in cycles, silence fills between. The sound of wind merges with waves, creating cadence of nature. The island's geography determines its settlements. Villages cling to cliffs, aligned along ridges. Streets wind in constancy, steps descend in sequence, terraces repeat. Churches with blue domes punctuate, bell towers align, houses cluster. The form is not chaos but order dictated by slope and stone. Inland, villages spread across plains, courtyards aligning, vineyards surrounding. Geography defines rhythm of habitation. From the sea, Santorini appears layered, cliffs rising, villages glowing, domes punctuating. From above, it dissolves into arc, Caldera within, Aegean beyond. Both perspectives reveal cadence. Stone and water, light and shadow, permanence and change. History persists in geography. Ancient Thera built on ridge, Akrotiri preserved beneath ash, medieval castles aligned on hills, each settlement shaped by land, each dissolving into rhythm. Geography does not alter, it persists. By twilight, the geography softens. Cliffs darken in silhouette, villages glow with lamps, sea reflects in constancy. Islands fade into horizon, lights shimmer, silence spreads. Night does not disrupt rhythm, it sustains. For the observer, Santorini's geography is calm when seen in cadence. Cliffs do not overwhelm, they align. Villages do not dazzle, they repeat. Waters do not vary, they persist. Each impression mirrors the others, each rhythm endures. And so, the geography and origins of Santorini become another chapter in its rhythm. Volcano is not chaos, it is geometry. Caldera is not spectacle, it is constancy. Sea is not boundary, it is cadence. In cadence lies calm, in calm lies rest. At the edge of the caldera, balanced on cliffs of volcanic stone, lies Fira, the capital of Santorini. Its houses align in white, its domes repeat in blue, its terraces descend in constancy toward the sea. Streets curve in narrow paths, shops open in sequence, stairways link levels. Fira is not spectacle but cadence. Step after step, arch after arch, terrace after terrace. The geography of Fira shapes its form. The cliff rises steeply. The settlement clings to its edge. Houses cluster in layers, walls painted white, doors and windows trimmed in blue or green. Balconies extend in rhythm, railings align, flower pots repeat in sequence. Bougainvillea blooms in pink, blossoms arranged in constancy along facades. The impression is order softened by slope. From the streets of Fira, views extend across the caldera. The cliffs of Imerovigli to the north, Oia beyond, Thera opposite, Nea Kameni in the center. Waters shimmer in light, boats cross in intervals, wakes dissolve into ripples. The horizon persists unbroken. Each impression mirrors the next, each rhythm endures. The streets of Fira are narrow and paved with stone. Steps ascend and descend, alleys curve in constancy, arches frame openings. Shops align along paths, goods displayed in sequence, jewelry, ceramics, fabrics, and paintings. Restaurants set tables in rows, menus displayed in intervals, terraces overlooking the sea. Visitors move in cadence, pause, observe, continue. The rhythm persists. The churches of Fira punctuate the settlement. White walls, domes painted blue, bell towers rising in constancy. Crosses align above, bells ring in intervals, shadows fall in rhythm. Inside, icons repeat, lamps glow in cycles, silence fills between. The churches are not spectacle. They are geometry softened to devotion. The Museum of Prehistoric Thera within Fira preserves artifacts from Akrotiri. Frescoes displayed in sequence, pottery aligned in cases, tools arranged in rhythm. Visitors walk in cycles, observe, pause, continue. The museum breathes in cadence, preserving memory of eruption and persistence. From the port of Scala Fira, below the cliffs, boats depart in cycles for Nea Kameni. Access descends by paths of steps, donkeys moving in rhythm, or cable car gliding in intervals. The ascent and descent repeat unbroken, step after step, ride after ride. The port does not dazzle. It endures as cadence of travel. By day, Fira glows in light. Walls reflect in white, shadows fall in constancy, sea shimmers below. By night, lamps illuminate terraces, windows glow in sequence, reflections ripple across water. Yet both impressions dissolve into rhythm. Day is not spectacle, night is not novelty. Both persist in cadence. The sound of Fira is subdued into hum. Footsteps echo on stone. Conversations drift in intervals. Bells ring in cycles. Music plays softly from cafes. Wind moves across terraces. Silence fills between. The settlement breathes in constancy. History shaped Fira as continuity. Once a village among others, it became the island's capital in the 18th century after Pyrgos declined. Fires, earthquakes, eruptions passed, yet Fira endured. Houses rebuilt, churches restored, streets continued. The settlement does not alter in essence. It repeats. From terraces in Fira, the Caldera appears as repetition. Cliffs in sequence, villages aligned, waters shimmering. Boats cross in intervals, ferries depart, sunsets dissolve into color. The view is not spectacle, but cadence soft into horizon. For the observer, Fira is calm when seen in rhythm. Streets do not overwhelm, they align. Churches do not dazzle, they repeat. Views do not vary, they persist. Each impression mirrors the others, each rhythm endures. And so, Fira becomes another chapter in Santorini's rhythm. Houses are not chaos. They are geometry. Streets are not novelty. They are constancy. Views are not spectacle. They are persistence. In persistence lies calm. In calm lies rest. North of Fira, along the same ridge of volcanic cliffs, lies Firostefani, a settlement so close that it seems a continuation rather than a separate village. Streets connect in sequence, houses align in white, domes punctuate in blue, terraces extend in constancy toward the Caldera. Firostefani is not spectacle but cadence. One alley follows another, one facade mirrors the next, one view repeats unbroken. The geography shapes the settlement. The cliff rises steeply, the village clings in layers. Houses descend in steps, doors painted in blue or green, windows reflecting light. Balconies extend outward, railings align, flower pots repeat in patterns. Bougainvillea climbs walls, blossoms recurring in pink and purple. The impression is not variety but persistence. From the edge of Firostefani, views open across the Caldera. Nea Kameni lies at the center, Thera opposite, Oia distant along the ridge. Waters shimmer in constancy, boats cross in cycles, wakes dissolve in ripples. Sunlight shifts across cliffs, shadows fall in sequence, horizon endures. The view does not dazzle, it persists. The streets of Firostefani are narrow, paved with stone. Steps ascend and descend, alleys curve in rhythm, arches frame doorways. Houses painted white reflect light, doors and shutters trimmed in color, churches punctuate in domes. Cafes align along paths, tables set in rows, chairs arranged in constancy. Visitors pause, sit, observe, continue. The rhythm is not broken. The Church of Agios Gerasimos, with its blue dome and white walls, rises as symbol of the settlement. Bell towers stand in constancy, crosses aligned above, bells ring in intervals. Inside, icons repeat, lamps glow in cycles, silence fills between. The church breathes in rhythm. Cafes and restaurants extend along the ridge, their terraces opening toward the Caldera. Tables set in rows, menus displayed in sequence, lamps glowing in intervals by night. Meals served in cycles, bread placed, wine poured, dishes arranged. Visitors eat, pause, observe, depart. Each gesture mirrors the others, each rhythm persists. Firostefani is quieter than Fira, yet its essence is the same. Streets aligned, terraces descending, views repeating. The difference is of cadence softened. Fewer crowds, less noise, or silence between. The settlement does not dazzle, it soothes. By day, sunlight illuminates white walls, shadows falling in constancy, sea shimmering below. By twilight, lamps glow on terraces, churches outlined in light, Caldera dissolving into horizon. Night does not alter rhythm, it sustains. The sound of Firostefani is subdued. Footsteps echo on stone, conversations drift in intervals, wind moves across terraces. Bells ring softly, gulls call overhead, silence fills between. The impression is calm, soporiferal, persistent. History shaped Firostefani in continuity. Once a neighborhood of Fira, it grew into village yet remained connected. Earthquakes came, houses rebuilt, streets persisted. Churches restored, terraces continued. The settlement does not alter in essence. It repeats. From the paths of Firostefani, the Caldera appears as rhythm. Villages align along ridge, domes punctuate, waters shimmer. Boats cross in cycles, ferries move in constancy, sunsets dissolve in glow. The impression is not spectacle. It is cadence softened into calm. For the observer, Firostefani is calm when seen in rhythm. Houses do not overwhelm, they align. Churches do not dazzle, they repeat. Views do not vary, they persist. Each impression mirrors the others, each rhythm endures. And so Firostefani becomes another chapter in Santorini's rhythm. Streets are not chaos, they are geometry. Churches are not novelty, they are constancy. Views are not spectacle. They are persistence, and persistence lies calm, and calm lies rest. North of Firostefani, continuing along the volcanic ridge, lies Imerovigli, a settlement often called the balcony of the Aegean. Its houses rise in white constancy, its churches punctuate in blue, its terraces extend in order toward the Caldera. Steps descend in sequences, alleys curve in rhythm, railings align in repetition. Imerovigli is not spectacle but cadence. The geography defines it. Perched higher than Fira or Firostefani, Imerovigli overlooks the Caldera with unobstructed view. From here, the sea spreads in constancy. The islands of Theracia and Esperantia align. Nea Kameni rests at center. The horizon persists unbroken, light shifting across water in cycles. From dawn to twilight, views endure in rhythm, unchanged in essence. At the heart of Imerovigli rises the Scarce Rock, a promontory of volcanic stone extending into the Caldera. Once a fortress of medieval times, today a ruin. Its walls collapsed, its paths silent, yet its form persists, a reminder of constancy. Visitors walk in cycles to its edge, steps repeating, wind moving in intervals. From Scaros, the Caldera unfolds in vast cadence, cliffs aligned, villages glowing, waters shimmering. The impression is not chaos, it is geometry softened to horizon. The streets of Imerovigli resemble those of neighboring villages. Narrow alleys paved with stone, steps ascending and descending, arches framing openings. Houses cluster in layers, walls painted white, shutters colored blue or green. Bougainvillea blooms along facades, blossoms recurring in pink and purple. Each detail dissolves into repetition, each impression mirrors the next. Churches punctuate the settlement. The Church of Panagia Maltesa, with its dome painted blue, rises on the ridge. Bell towers stand in constancy, crosses aligned above, bells ring in intervals. Inside, icons shimmer in gold, lamps glow in cycles, silence fills between. Rituals of prayer unfold in cadence. The church is not spectacle, it is persistence. Cafes and terraces line the ridge, opening toward the Caldera. Tables align in rows, chairs arranged in constancy, menus displayed in sequence. Visitors sit, pause, observe, depart. Meals served in cycles, bread placed, wine poured, dishes arranged. Each gesture mirrors the others, each rhythm persists. By day, sunlight reflects on white facades, shadows falling in constancy, sea shimmering below. By twilight, lamps glow on terraces, churches illuminated, Caldera dissolving into horizon. Night does not disrupt rhythm. It sustains. The village breathes in cadence unbroken. The sound of Imerovigli is subdued into calm. Footsteps echo on stone, conversations drift in intervals. Wind moves across terraces. Bells ring softly, gulls call above, silence fills between. The impression is not noise, it is rhythm. History shaped Imerovigli in continuity. Its strategic position above the Caldera gave it prominence. Scarro's Rock once fortified against attack. Earthquakes came, walls collapsed, houses rebuilt, streets endured, churches restored, terraces continued. The village does not alter in essence. It repeats. From the ridge of Imerovigli, the Caldera appears as order. Villages align in sequence. Fira Firostefani Oia. Cliffs descend in constancy. Waters shimmer in cycles. Islands rest unbroken. Sunlight shifts, shadows fall, reflections ripple. Each impression mirrors the others. Each rhythm persists. For the observer, Imerovigli is calm when seen in cadence. Streets do not overwhelm. They align. Churches do not dazzle. They repeat. Views do not vary. They persist. Each impression resembles the others. Each rhythm endures. And so, Imerovigli becomes another chapter in Santorini's rhythm. Houses are not chaos. They are geometry. Scarro's is not spectacle. It is persistence. Horizon is not novelty. It is constancy. In constancy lies calm. In calm lies rest. At the northern tip of Santorini, where the ridge narrows and dissolves into the Aegean, lies Oia, a village renowned yet calm when seen in rhythm. Its houses align in white, its domes repeat in blue. Its terraces descend toward the Caldera in constancy. Steps curve in sequences, alleys narrow and widen, arches frame openings. Oia is not spectacle but cadence. One house follows another, one dome mirrors the next, one stair continues in order. The geography of Oia defines its impression. Perched on cliffs, it overlooks both the Caldera to the west and the open Aegean to the east. Waters shimmer in cycles, boats pass in intervals, horizon persists unbroken. From its terraces, the view dissolves into constancy. Islands resting, cliffs descending, sea reflecting. The impression is not novelty, it is persistence. The streets of Oia are narrow, paved in stone, winding along the ridge. Shops open in sequence, jewelry displayed in cases, fabrics folded in stacks, ceramics aligned in rows. Restaurants set tables and terraces, menus presented in rhythm, lamps glowing in intervals by night. Visitors move in cadence, step, pause, observe, continue. The village breathes in repetition. The churches of Oia punctuate the settlement. White walls, domes painted blue, bell towers rising in constancy. Crosses aligned above, bells ringing in intervals, shadows falling in rhythm. Inside, icons shimmer, lamps glow, silence fills between. Rituals unfold in cycles, each gesture resembling the others, each impression persisting. Terraces extend toward the Caldera. Tables aligned in rows, chairs arranged in constancy, railings framing the view. Meals served in cadence, bread placed, wine poured, dishes presented. Visitors eat, pause, observe, depart. The terrace experience is not chaos. It is geometry softened by horizon. The sunset of Oia is renowned, yet in cadence it becomes persistence rather than spectacle. Each evening, visitors gather at terraces, walls, and viewpoints. The sun descends in constancy, light softens, colors shift in cycles from gold to red, from orange to violet. The cliffs darken in silhouette, the sea reflects in glow, domes shimmer in shadow. Applause sometimes follows, yet the essence is repetition. Sunset returns each day, dissolving into night, rhythm unbroken. The houses of Oia are carved into stone, many troglodytic, their interiors cool and constant. Doors painted in blue, shutters aligned, walls curved in geometry. Steps connect levels, paths wind in constancy, terraces open to sea. The impression is not variety, it is persistence shaped by slope. Windmills stand at the edge of Oia, their white towers rising, sails aligned in symmetry. Once used for grain, now preserved, they persist as geometry against horizon. Each resembles the other, each impression mirrors. The windmill is not spectacle. It is cadence of past enduring. The Maritime Museum of Oia preserves memory of seafaring. Models of ships displayed in sequence, instruments aligned, maps arranged. Visitors walk in cycles, observe, pause, continue. The museum breathes in rhythm, history preserved in constancy. By day, Oia glows in light. Walls reflect in white, domes shine in blue, shadows fall in constancy. By twilight, lamps glow on terraces, windows illuminated, reflections ripple on sea. Night does not disrupt rhythm, it sustains. The village dissolves into cadence. The sound of Oia is subdued. Footsteps echo on stone, conversations drift in intervals, bells ring in cycles. Music plays softly from restaurants, wind moves across terraces, silence fills between. The impression is calm, soporifero, persistent, history-shaped Oia in continuity. Once a center of seafaring, later damaged by earthquake, rebuilt in persistence. Houses restored, churches repaired, streets continued. The village does not alter in essence, it repeats. From the ridge of Oia, the Caldera unfolds as geometry. Villages aligned along cliffs, islands resting in constancy, sea shimmering in cycles. The horizon dissolves into order. Each impression mirrors the others, each rhythm persists. For the observer, Oia is calm when seen in cadence. Streets do not overwhelm, they align. Churches do not dazzle, they repeat. Sunsets do not vary, they persist. Each impression resembles the others, each rhythm endures. And so Oia becomes another chapter in Santorini's rhythm. Houses are not chaos. They are geometry. Domes are not spectacle. They are constancy. Sunsets are not novelty. They are repetition. In repetition lies calm. In calm lies rest. At the center of Santorini, away from the ridge of the Caldera, lies Pyrgos, a village that rises on a hill in constancy. Its houses cluster in white layers, its churches punctuate with domes, its streets wind in narrow constancy toward the summit. At the top stands a fortress, its walls enduring as geometry. Pyrgos is not spectacle but cadence. One alley follows another, one courtyard mirrors the next. One view persists unbroken. The geography defines the village. From the hill, the island spreads in every direction. To the west, the Caldera curves in constancy, its cliffs descending into sea. To the east, plains extend to the Aegean, vineyards aligned in baskets, fields stretching in rhythm. From the summit, the horizon encircles, unbroken, dissolving into repetition. The impression is not chaos. It is order softened by height. The streets of Pyrgos are narrow and winding, paved with stone, ascending in constancy toward the fortress. Houses line the paths, their walls painted white, their doors and windows trimmed in blue or brown. Courtyards open in rhythm, plants arranged in pots, shadows falling in sequence. Arches frame doorways, steps connect levels, alleys curve unbroken. The village breathes in cadence. At the summit rises the kasteli, the fortress of Pyrgos. Walls of stone align in geometry, towers rise in constancy, passages curve in rhythm. Built for defense, it now persists as memory, ruin softened by time. Within, churches and houses cluster, narrow alleys winding, silence filling spaces. The fortress is not spectacle. It is persistence. Among the churches of Pyrgos, the church of Theotokaki endures as rhythm. Its dome curves in symmetry, its bell tower rises in constancy, its icons glow in cycles. Inside, lamps shimmer, silence fills between. The church breathes in cadence of ritual unbroken. The views from Pyrgos extend in order. To the west, Oia and Imerovigli aligned on cliffs. To the south, Akrotiri and its headland. To the north, Fira Firostefani. To the east, plains of vineyards and fields, Aegean beyond. The island dissolves into geometry of sea and land, horizon unbroken. The view is not novelty, it is repetition softened by distance. The houses of Pyrgos cluster in sequence. Walls painted white, roofs curved in constancy, doors opening in rhythm. Courtyards enclosed, staircases ascending, terraces aligned. Bougainvillea blooms, plants arranged in pots, vines climbing in cycles. Each detail mirrors others, each impression persists. Life in Pyrgos follows rhythm of daily cycles. Shops open in morning, close at night, repeat unbroken. Cafes set tables in rows, chairs arranged, meals served in cadence, bread baked, wine poured, conversations drift. Each gesture resembles others, each rhythm endures. History shaped Pyrgos as continuity. Once the island's capital, it grew around fortress for protection. Earthquakes came, houses rebuilt, streets continued. Churches restored, alleys persisted, fortress endured. The village does not alter in essence, it repeats. By day, Pyrgos glows in sunlight, walls reflecting in white, shadows falling in constancy. By twilight, lamps glow, churches illuminated, fortress soft in light. Night does not disrupt rhythm. It sustains. The village breathes in calm. The sound of Pyrgos is subdued. Footsteps echo on stone, voices drift in intervals, bells ring in cycles. Wind moves across hill, silence fills between. The impression is not noise. It is rhythm. From Pyrgos, the island dissolves into order. Caldera to one side, Aegean to the other, vineyards below, villages aligned along cliffs. Each element mirrors others, each rhythm persists. The horizon encircles, the impression endures. For the observer, Pyrgos is calm when seen in cadence. Streets do not overwhelm, they align. Fortress does not dazzle, it repeats. Views do not vary, they persist. Each impression resembles others, each rhythm endures. And so, Pyrgos becomes another chapter in Santorini's rhythm. Streets are not chaos. They are geometry. Fortress is not spectacle, it is persistence. Views are not novelty, they are constancy. In constancy lies calm. In calm lies rest. South of Fira, inland and away from the edge of the Caldera, lies Megalochori, a village where time seems to slow into cadence. Narrow streets curve in constancy, houses align in whitewashed order, courtyards open in quiet geometry. Bell towers rise above alleys, their arches repeating, their bells ringing in intervals. Megalochori is not spectacle but rhythm. One doorway follows another, one courtyard mirrors the next, one shadow falls in unbroken sequence. The geography of Megalochori defines its calm. Built on flat land rather than cliffs, the village spreads in compact form. Houses cluster close together, their walls joined, their doors facing narrow lanes. Courtyards enclosed by high walls preserve silence within, shaded by vines and trees. Streets paved in stone wind and constancy, arches spanning above, bell towers punctuating rhythm. The impression is not novelty but persistence. The bell towers of Megalochori stand as its most visible symbols. Painted white, often crowned with arches and crosses, they rise above rooftops in constancy. Bells hang in sequence, ringing in intervals, calling across the village. Each tower resembles the others. Each impression repeats, each rhythm endures. The houses of Megalochori follow traditional architecture. Walls painted white, doors and windows trimmed in blue, green, or brown. Roofs curve in geometry, staircases ascend in steps, terraces open in order. Many houses conceal courtyards within, entered through gates and walls. Inside, gardens spread in symmetry, potted plants aligned, vines climbing in cycles, shade provided by trees. Life unfolds in cadence, protected from sun and wind. The streets of the village are narrow and winding. Alleys curve, arches span, steps ascend. Shadows fall in constancy, light filters through openings, silence fills between. Shops and cafes appear in rhythm, signs displayed, chairs arranged in sequence. Visitors move in cycles, pause, observe, continue. The village breathes in calm. Among the churches, the church of Nea Kameni endures as rhythm. Its dome painted blue, its bell tower rising in constancy, its courtyard shaded. Inside, icons glow in gold, lamps flicker, silence persists. Rituals unfold in cadence. Prayer, chant, pause, repetition. The church is not spectacle. It is persistence softened into devotion. The square of Megalochori opens in geometry, framed by houses and cafes. Tables align in rows, chairs arranged in constancy, trees shading in symmetry. Conversations drift in intervals, meals served in cycles, lamps glow by night. The square does not dazzle. It persists in rhythm of daily life. History shaped Megalochori in continuity. A settlement of merchants and winemakers, it grew around vineyards and trade. Earthquakes came, houses rebuilt, churches restored, bell towers persisted. The village does not alter in essence. It repeats. The vineyards around Megalochori align in rhythm. Vines trained in circular baskets, leaves curving in constancy, grapes ripening in cycles. Fields extend in repetition, horizon dissolving into order. The land breathes in cadence, harvest repeating each year. By day, Megalochori glows in sunlight. Walls reflect in white, shadows fall in constancy, bells ring in intervals. By twilight, lamps illuminate streets, windows glow, silence spreads. Night does not disrupt rhythm, it sustains. The sound of Megalochori is subdued. Bells ring in cycles, footsteps echo on stone, voices drift in intervals. Wind moves across vines, silence fills between. The impression is not noise, it is rhythm. From the village, the island appears in order. To the west, the Caldera and sea. To the east, plains of vineyards and hills. Horizon persists unbroken, impressions dissolve into cadence. For the observer, Megalochori is calm when seen in rhythm. Streets do not overwhelm, they align. Bell towers do not dazzle, they repeat. Courtyards do not vary, they persist. Each impression resembles the others, each rhythm endures. And so, Megalochori becomes another chapter in Santorini's rhythm. Houses are not chaos, they are geometry. Bell towers are not spectacle, they are constancy. Courtyards are not novelty, they are persistence, and persistence lies calm, and calm lies rest. South of the island, near the slopes that rise toward Prophetess Elias, lies Emporio, one of the largest and oldest villages of Santorini. Its houses cluster in constancy, its passages narrow into shadow, its walls conceal courtyards and chambers. At the summit, a castle, or kasteli, endures as geometry of defense. Emporio is not spectacle but cadence. Alley after alley, arch after arch, shadow after shadow. The geography defines its form. Built inland, Emporio was shaped not by sea views, but by protection. Narrow alleys curve in constancy, passages twist between walls, stairways ascend in rhythm. Houses join in clusters, walls thick, doors small, windows few. Silence persists within, light filters in fragments, shadows fall in repetition. The impression is not variety, but persistence shaped by history. The Castelli of Emporio rises at the heart of the village. Built in medieval times for defense, its walls align in stone, its passages narrow, its courtyards enclosed. Within, houses once sheltered families, churches punctuated in rhythm, towers stood in constancy. Today, much remains, walls intact, arches spanning, streets curving in shadow. The fortress does not dazzle, it endures. Walking through the Castelli, the sense is of labyrinth. Passages barely wide enough for one, arches overhead repeating, staircases ascending in cycles. Doors open into chambers, courtyards hidden within, shadows deep. Silence fills between, footsteps echo on stone, light filters softly, the rhythm persists unbroken. Among the churches of Emporio, the church of Palea Kameni stands near the entrance of the Castelli. White walls reflect light, dome painted blue, bell tower rising in constancy. Inside, icons glow, lamps flicker, silence persists. Rituals unfold in cadence, chant, pause, repetition. The church breathes in rhythm. The houses of Emporio reveal continuity. Walls thick to protect from heat and attack. Doors opening in rhythm, windows narrow. Courtyards concealed behind gates, shaded by trees, aligned with gardens. Life unfolded in cadence within. Bread baked, wine stored, conversations repeated. The impression is not spectacle. It is persistence softened to daily rhythm. Beyond the Castelli, the village spreads in order. Streets widen slightly, shops align, cafes set tables in rows. Vineyards stretch nearby, vines curving in baskets, fields extending. The settlement breathes in constancy, life continuing in rhythm. History shaped Emporio as continuity. Once the commercial center of Santorini, it prospered with markets and trade. Its castelli provided refuge in times of attack. Its churches preserved ritual. Its houses endured. Earthquakes damaged. Restorations followed, yet the village persisted. Emporio does not alter in essence. It repeats. The Tower of Emporio, built in Venetian times, still rises near the village, a solitary structure of stone. Its form geometric, its walls thick, its impression persistent. Once used as lookout, now preserved as memory. The tower stands not as spectacle, but as cadence of defense. By day, Emporio glows in sunlight. White walls reflect, shadows fall in constancy, streets cool within stone. By twilight, lamps illuminate alleys, churches glow, silence spreads. Night does not disrupt rhythm, it sustains. The sound of Emporio is subdued. Footsteps echo in narrow alleys, voices drift in intervals, bells ring in cycles. Wind moves across slopes, silence fills between. The impression is not noise. It is rhythm. From the slopes above Emporio, views extend across plains and sea. Vineyards spread in order, hills rise in constancy, horizon dissolves. Villages align in distance, Caldera visible, Aegean unbroken. Each impression mirrors others, each rhythm persists. For the observer, Emporio is calm when seen in cadence. Alleys do not overwhelm, they align. Castle does not dazzle, it repeats. Houses do not vary, they persist. Each impression resembles the others, each rhythm endures. And so, Emporio becomes another chapter in Santorini's rhythm. Streets are not chaos, they are geometry. Fortress is not novelty, it is persistence. History is not spectacle, it is constancy. In constancy lies calm, and calm lies rest. At the southern tip of Santorini, near the edge of cliffs that descend into the sea, lies Akrotiri, one of the most significant archaeological sites of the Aegean. Covered by volcanic ash for millennia, its streets, houses, and frescoes remain preserved in constancy. Walking through Akrotiri is not spectacle but cadence. Wall after wall, doorway after doorway, stair after stair. The geography defines the site. Once a harbor town, Akrotiri faced the sea, its ships departing in cycles, its markets thriving in rhythm. The volcanic eruption of the second millennium BC buried it under ash, preserving its form. Centuries passed, winds shifted, waters flowed, but beneath the layers the city endured unbroken. The impression is not chaos but persistence. The excavation reveals streets paved with stone, narrow and winding in rhythm. Houses align in rows, walls rising in constancy, doorways repeating. Staircases ascend to upper levels, rooms opening into courtyards, windows cut in order. The city breathes in geometry. Each detail mirrors the next. Each rhythm persists. The houses of Akrotiri display sophistication. Multi-story structures with storage rooms, workshops, and living quarters. Walls painted with frescoes, colors preserved, forms repeating. Beds, tables, vessels aligned in place. Daily life frozen in cycle. The impression is not novelty. It is rhythm paused in time. Among the frescoes, images of lilies, swallows, and ships unfold in repetition. Lines curve in symmetry, colors arranged in sequence, forms reflecting nature and cadence. Scenes of procession, of harvest, of ritual persist. The frescoes breathe as rhythm, not spectacle, enduring across centuries. The pottery of Akrotiri aligns in constancy. Jars large and small, decorated with spirals, waves, and plants. Shapes repeated, designs recurring, function persisting. Stored grains, oils, and goods once filled them. Today they stand empty yet enduring, evidence of rhythm in daily life. The architecture reveals planning. Streets aligned in grids softened by slope, drainage channels arranged in sequence, houses constructed in rhythm. The impression is of order, not chaos. The city was not spontaneous, but measured, each structure mirroring others. Walking through Akrotiri today, the visitor follows paths above ruins, roofs protecting excavation, walkways guiding steps. Silence dominates, broken only by voices in intervals, footsteps in cycles. Light filters through structures, shadows fall in rhythm. The site breathes in constancy. History shaped Akrotiri as continuity before eruption, a settlement thriving in trade, connected to Minoan Crete and beyond. Ships departed in cycles, goods exchanged, rituals observed. The eruption ended life but preserved memory. Ash concealed, yet also protected. The city does not alter in essence. It repeats as frozen rhythm. By day, the site glows in filtered light. Walls of stone reflect in muted tones. Frescoes shimmer in fragments. Silence spreads. By twilight, lamps illuminate paths. Shadows deepen. Constancy remains. Night does not disrupt rhythm. It sustains. The sound of Akrotiri is subdued. Footsteps echo in walkways. Voices drift in intervals. Silence fills between. The impression is not noise. It is calm. From the site, the sea remains visible in distance. Waters shimmer, waves strike shore in cycles, horizon unbroken. The same sea once faced by ships of Akrotiri, the same horizon observed by its people. Time alters, but rhythm persists. For the observer, Akrotiri is calm when seen in cadence. Streets do not overwhelm, they align. Frescoes do not dazzle, they repeat. Vessels do not marry, they persist. Each impression resembles the others, each rhythm endures. And so Akrotiri becomes another chapter in Santorini's rhythm. City is not chaos, it is geometry. Eruption is not spectacle. It is preservation. Memory is not novelty, it is constancy. In constancy lies calm. In calm lies rest. High above the Aegean, on a ridge between the beaches of Kamari and Pyrgos, lies ancient Thera, the classical settlement of the island. Its remains extend along the crest of Mount Mizavuno, stones aligned in rows, streets curving in constancy, temples and dwellings enduring in rhythm. The impression is not spectacle but cadence. Wall after wall, column after column, step after step. The geography defines the site. The ridge narrows, slopes descending steeply to sea on both sides. To the east, the waters of Komari. To the west, the sands of Pyrgos. The horizon spreads unbroken, sky and sea dissolving into constancy. The settlement aligned with this ridge, houses facing both coasts, temples positioned in geometry. The impression is order shaped by slope. The streets of ancient Thera remain visible. Paved in stone, they curve with terrain, houses aligning along them. Steps ascend in intervals, walls of dwellings rise in sequence, courtyards open in constancy. Silence persists among ruins, footsteps echo, wind moves across ridge. Each impression mirrors the others, each rhythm endures. The temples punctuate the site, remains of sanctuaries to deities, columns rising in fragments, foundations aligned in geometry. Stones carved, altars preserved, stairways ascending. Each temple resembles another, each impression repeats. The temples do not dazzle. They endure as rhythm of devotion. The dwellings of ancient Thera reveal daily life. Walls of stone preserved, rooms aligned, courtyards enclosed. Hearths remain, storage vessels once stood, floors paved. Each house similar to the next, each function repeating in cycle. Domestic life persisted in cadence, meals prepared, water carried, conversations drifting. The impression is not variety but persistence. The theater of ancient Thera endures on slope, seats carved into rock, steps aligned in arcs. Rows repeat in constancy, stage area preserved in geometry. Spectators once gathered, performances unfolded in cycles, silence followed. Today seats remain, wind moving across, horizon extending beyond. The theater breathes in rhythm unbroken. Inscriptions and stones preserve memory of rulers, decrees, and rituals. Letters carved in sequence, words aligned, messages enduring across centuries. The stones are not spectacle, they are persistence of order. The sound of ancient Thera is subdued. Wind moves across ridge, footsteps echo in silence, gulls call above. Voices drift in intervals, then fade. The site breathes in constancy, unbroken by noise. History shaped ancient Thera as continuity. Founded in the 9th century BCE, it endured through Hellenistic and Roman times. Streets paved, temples built, houses occupied. Empires shifted, rulers changed, yet settlement persisted. Eventually abandoned, stones remained, rhythm unbroken. By day, sunlight illuminates ruins. Stones glow in muted tones, shadows fall in constancy, horizon shimmers. By twilight, light softens, silence deepens, forms dissolve. Night does not disrupt rhythm. It sustains. From the ridge of ancient Thera, the island spreads below. Villages align on plains, vineyards extend, sea encircles. The Caldera distant, cliffs dark against horizon. Each impression mirrors the others, each rhythm persists. For the observer, ancient Thera is calm when seen in cadence. Ruins do not overwhelm. They align, temples do not dazzle, they repeat, houses do not vary. They persist. Each impression resembles the others, each rhythm endures. And so, ancient Thera becomes another chapter in Santorini's rhythm. Stones are not chaos, they are geometry. Ruins are not spectacle, they are persistence. Memory is not novelty. It is constancy. In constancy lies calm. In calm lies rest. At the center of the caldera lies Nea Kameni, an island of black volcanic stone. Its slopes rise in muted curves, its surface barren, its craters aligned in sequence. Visitors approach by boat, disembarking in cycles, walking across paths of pumice and ash. The impression is not spectacle but cadence. Rock after rock, step after step, silence after silence. The geography of Nea Kameni is recent in geological time. Formed by eruptions between the 16th and 20th centuries, it continues to change. Each eruption added layers of stone, each flow extending in constancy. The island does not appear as ancient ruin, but as process and rhythm. Stone grows, craters form, fumaroles breathe. The paths of Nea Kameni lead across slopes of black and red rock. Dust rises with steps, pebbles crunch in rhythm, shadows fall in constancy. Along the paths, craters open in sequence, their edges curved, their depths silent. Visitors descend and ascend, observing in cycles, pausing, continuing. The impression is not variety but persistence. The craters themselves breathe with fumaroles. Steam rises in intervals, heat persists in stone. Scent of sulfur drifts in rhythm. The surface appears still, yet movement endures below. The volcano is not dormant but constant, its presence unbroken. From the summit of Nea Kameni, the view of the Caldera unfolds. Cliffs of Santorini curve in semicircle, villages perched in white, domes punctuating in blue. Waters shimmer in constancy, boats cross in cycles, horizon persists unbroken. The island dissolves into rhythm of geology and habitation. The sound of Nea Kameni is subdued. Wind moves across slopes, footsteps echo on stone, voices drift in intervals. Silence fills between, broken only by occasional call of gull. The impression is calm, soporifero, unbroken. History of Nea Kameni is measured in eruptions. 16 recorded since antiquity, each reshaping land. In 1950, lava flowed in constancy, adding new rock. In 1928, fumaroles breathed in rhythm. Centuries earlier, eruptions rose and subsided. Each event distinct, yet all dissolve into cycle. The volcano is not novelty, it is persistence. Boats were at coves of Nea Kameni in intervals. Passengers disembark, walk paths, return. The rhythm is unbroken, arrival, exploration, departure. Waves lap in constancy, hulls sway in cycles, ropes strain and release. The approach is not chaos. It is order softened to repetition. Beyond Nea Kameni lies Palea Kameni, older, smaller, its shores marked by hot springs. Waters warmed in cycles by subterranean heat, colors shifting from green to brown, scent of minerals rising. Visitors swim in repetition, entering, pausing, returning. The springs do not dazzle. They persist as cadence of geology. The caldera itself reflects persistence of volcanic force. Formed by eruption, filled by sea, encircled by cliffs. Within, islands rise and grow. Fumaroles breathe. Stone accumulates. Millennia pass, yet rhythm continues. Geology does not alter in essence, it repeats. By day, Nea Kameni glows in sunlight. Stones shimmer in black and red. Shadows fall in constancy, waters reflect below. By twilight, cliffs of Santorini glow in distance, lamps begin to shimmer, horizon dissolves. Night does not disrupt rhythm. It sustains. For the observer, Nea Kameni is calm when seen in cadence. Craters do not overwhelm, they align. Fumaroles do not dazzle, they repeat. Stones do not vary, they persist. Each impression resembles the others, each rhythm endures. And so, Nea Kameni becomes another chapter in Santorini's rhythm. Volcano is not chaos, it is geometry. Eruption is not spectacle, it is constancy. Island is not novelty, it is persistence. In persistence lies calm, and calm lies rest. West of Nea Kameni lies Palea Kameni, the smaller and older island formed by volcanic activity. Its shores appear rugged, stones aligned in black and brown, its slopes covered with sparse vegetation. From its edges flow hot springs, waters warmed by subterranean heat, colored by minerals dissolved in cycles. Palea Kameni is not spectacle but cadence. Rock after rock, wave after wave, ripple after ripple. The geography defines its presence. Created by eruptions more than 2 millennia ago, Palea Kameni has endured unchanged in essence. Its form is modest, its surface irregular, yet its persistence remains. Around it, waters shift in color near springs. Green, brown, and red hues appear where heat rises. Boats approach in intervals, anchoring near coves, passengers disembarking in rhythm. The hot springs are reached by swimming short distances from boats. Waters change in temperature as currents mix. The cooler Aegean surrounds, the warmer spring emerges, rippling in cycles. Minerals color the surface, iron giving red tones, sulfur lending scent. Bathers move in cadence, enter, pause, immerse, return. Each gesture mirrors the next, each rhythm endures. The experience of the springs is not of spectacle, but of sequence. Water warms in cycles, bodies adapt, silence surrounds. Waves lap against rocks, steam drifts in intervals, light reflects in shimmer. The springs do not overwhelm, they persist. The island of Palea Kameni itself is modest. Small chapels stand on its slopes, white walls reflecting in contrast against dark stone. Crosses rise in constancy, doors open in rhythm, bells ring in intervals. Silence spreads across terrain. Footsteps echo on rock, gulls call above. The impression is not novelty, but persistence softened to calm. The boats that bring visitors follow routine. Departing from Fira or Oia, they cross in cycles, approaching Palea Kameni in constancy. Anchors drop, passengers swim, time passes, anchors lift, boats return. The sequence repeats unbroken throughout day after day, season after season. The boats do not dazzle. They align with rhythm of sea. History marks Palea Kameni as continuity. Born of eruption, it has remained unchanged, its springs flowing, its chapels standing. Travelers have visited for centuries, noting heat of waters, persistence of stone. No transformation alters essence, it repeats a cycle of geology. The sound of Palea Kameni is subdued. Waves strike rocks in intervals, swimmers move in silence, voices drift and fade. Bells of chapel ring in constancy, gulls call in rhythm, silence fills between. The impression is calm, soporifero, unbroken. By day, sunlight glows on waters. Springs shimmer in colors, rocks darken in contrast, boats rest in coves. By twilight, lamps glow on decks, reflections ripple, sea darkens in constancy. Night does not disrupt rhythm, it sustains. The springs themselves breathe with earth. Heat rises in cycles, water warms, minerals dissolve. Each moment resembles the last, each impression mirrors. The springs are not chaos, they are persistence of geology. From Palea Kameni, the Caldera appears in sequence. Cliffs of Santorini curve, villages perch in white, domes punctuate in blue. Waters shimmer, boats cross, horizon persists. The island dissolves into rhythm, part of larger cadence. For the observer, Palea Kameni is calm when seen in rhythm. Rocks do not overwhelm, they align. Springs do not dazzle, they repeat. Waters do not vary, they persist. Each impression resembles others, each rhythm endures. And so, Palea Kameni and its springs become another chapter in Santorini's rhythm. Geology is not spectacle, it is constancy. Waters are not novelty, they are cycles. Presence is not chaos, it is order softened to calm. In calm lies rest. The coastline of Santorini reveals its volcanic origin, not in spectacle, but in cadence. Beaches extend in sequence, each distinct in color, yet united in rhythm. Stones shaped by eruption, cliffs carved by time, waters lapping in constancy. Among them, 3 endure with prominence: red beach, black beach, and white beach. Each reveals geology and geometry. Each dissolves into persistence. The red beach near Akrotiri is framed by cliffs of deep red volcanic stone. Layers rise in vertical constancy, tones ranging from crimson to brown, their surfaces fractured in repetition. Below, the narrow shore stretches, pebbles aligned in red and black, water shimmering in contrast. Visitors arrive in cycles, descending paths, pausing, continuing. Waves strike in intervals, gulls circle in rhythm, silence fills between. The impression is not chaos. It is cadence shaped in stone and sea. Walking along Red Beach, the cliffs tower overhead. Their surfaces fractured, their lines layered, their presence unbroken. Shadows fall in constancy, light reflects in intervals, colors deepen at twilight. The beach breathes in rhythm, unchanging in essence. To the east lies Black Beach, also known as Parissa or Kumari depending on stretch. Here, sands of volcanic origin spread in constancy, their color dark, their texture fine. The shore extends in long arc, waves striking in cycles, footprints repeating in sequence. Umbrellas align in rows, chairs arranged in constancy, visitors move in cadence. Arrive, pause, rest, depart. The impression is not novelty, it is persistence. The sea at Black Beach glimmers in contrast. Dark sand dissolves into blue water, waves shimmer in light, horizon spreads unbroken. Sun reflects in constancy, shadows fall in cycles, silence merges with sound. The beach is not chaos, it is geometry softened to calm. The village of Parissa rises near the shore, houses painted white, tavernas aligning in rows, streets paved in stone. Cafes set tables in sequence, menus displayed, chairs arranged. Visitors eat, pause, observe, continue. The rhythm persists unbroken. Further along lies White Beach, or remote, accessible mainly by boat. Cliffs of pale stone rise in contrast, their surfaces aligned in vertical geometry. Below, the narrow shore spreads, pebbles arranged in white and gray, waters reflecting in shimmer. Boats arrive in cycles, anchoring offshore, passengers swimming or disembarking. The impression is not spectacle. It is persistence softened by distance. The cliffs of White Beach rise in constancy, their surfaces fractured, their tones pale, their forms dissolving into horizon. Shadows fall in rhythm, light reflects in cycles, silence endures. The beach breathes in geometry, unbroken by noise. The sound of Santorini's beaches is subdued into cadence. Waves strike in intervals, pebbles shift in rhythm, gulls call above. Voices drift, footsteps echo, silence fills between. The impression is calm, soporifero, persistent. By day, red, black, and white beaches glow in light. Colors deepen, waters shimmer, shadows fall in constancy. By twilight, lamps glow in villages near, cliffs darken in silhouette, sea reflects horizon. Night does not disrupt rhythm, it sustains. History shaped these shores as continuity, formed by eruption, altered by sea, yet enduring in essence. Travelers arrived across centuries, fishermen cast nets, visitors paused in cycles. Each beach distinct, yet all dissolve into rhythm of geology and sea. From the cliffs above, the beaches appear as patterns. Red layers, black sands, white stone, each aligned with sea, each dissolved into order. The impression is not variety, but persistence softened into cadence. For the observer, the beaches of Santorini are calm when seen in rhythm. Red does not overwhelm. It aligns. Black does not dazzle. It repeats. White does not vary. It persists. Each impression mirrors others. Each rhythm endures. And so, Red Beach, Black Beach, and White Beach become another chapter in Santorini's rhythm. Stone is not chaos, it is geometry. Sand is not novelty. It is constancy. Water is not spectacle, it is cadence. In cadence lies calm. In calm lies rest. The landscape of Santorini, shaped by volcanic soil and constant winds, gives rise to a unique tradition of viticulture. Vines do not rise in vertical trellises as in other lands, but curve close to the ground in circular baskets. This form, known as Caldera, protects grapes from wind and sun, preserving them in rhythm of earth and season. Fields extend across plains and slopes, each vine resembling the next, each circle repeating in constancy. The impression is not spectacle but cadence. Vine after vine, leaf after leaf, harvest after harvest. The soil of Santorini is volcanic, porous, and poor in water, yet rich in minerals. Ash, pumice, and lava fragments compose the ground, absorbing morning dew, releasing it in cycles. Rain is scarce, rivers absent, yet vines persist in constancy. Roots extend deep, seeking moisture. Leaves adapt to wind. Grapes ripen in rhythm. The land does not dazzle, it endures. Among the varieties, Acertico dominates. Grapes pale, skins thick, wines dry, and mineral. Harvest follows cycles, spring growth, summer ripening, autumn picking. Workers bend over baskets, clipping clusters, placing them in sequence. Pressing follows, fermentation unfolds, barrels or tanks align. The rhythm is not chaos. It is order softened to tradition. Other grapes, such as Akrotiri and Adani, join Acertico in blends. Sweet wines emerge, especially Vinsanto, aged in constancy, its flavors concentrated. Bottles align in rows, labels displayed in sequence, tastings offered in cadence. Visitors sip, pause, observe, continue. The rhythm persists unbroken. The wineries of Santorini spread across the island, some traditional with stone walls and underground cellars, others modern with glass and terraces. All align in rhythm, fermentation tanks in rows, barrels in constancy, bottles stacked in sequence. Tours proceed in cycles, guides explaining, visitors tasting, silence filling between. The impression is not spectacle. It is persistent, softened to ritual. In villages like Megalochori and Pyrgos, wineries preserve memory of centuries. Courtyards enclosed, presses aligned, tools displayed. In others, near cliffs, terraces open to Caldera, glasses served with horizon. Yet in all, cadence endures. Vineyards breathe in rhythm, wines poured in sequence, impressions repeating. The sound of vineyards is subdued. Leaves rustle in wind, footsteps echo on soil, voices drift in intervals. In wineries, pumps hum in constancy, glasses clink in rhythm, silence fills between. The impression is calm, soprifero, unbroken. History shaped wine in Santorini as continuity. Vines planted since antiquity, preserved through Byzantine, Venetian, and Ottoman eras. Trade carried bottles abroad, monasteries preserved vineyards, families maintained tradition. Earthquakes came, eruptions passed, yet vines persisted. The island does not alter in essence, it repeats. The Caldera vines themselves appear as geometry. Circles coiled close to ground, leaves curving in symmetry, grapes ripening within. Fields extend in repetition, horizon dissolves into pattern. Each vine resembles the next, each rhythm endures. By day, sunlight illuminates fields. Leaves shimmer in green, soil glows in brown and gray, shadows fall in constancy. By twilight, lamps glow in wineries, glasses filled in intervals, silence spreads. Night does not disrupt rhythm. It sustains. For the observer, Santorini's vineyards are calm when seen in cadence. Vines do not overwhelm, they align. Wines do not dazzle, they repeat. Tastings do not vary, they persist. Each impression resembles the others, each rhythm endures. And so, the wine tradition of Santorini becomes another chapter in its rhythm. Vineyards are not chaos, they are geometry. Grapes are not novelty, they are constancy. Wine is not spectacle. It is persistence, and persistence lies calm. In calm lies rest. The gastronomy of Santorini arises from its volcanic soil, its dry climate, and its history of persistence. Ingredients are few yet constant, dishes simple yet enduring. Meals unfold in rhythm, prepared in cycles, served in repetition. The impression is not spectacle but cadence. Plate after plate, flavor after flavor, tradition after tradition. The tomatoes of Santorini, small and thick-skinned, grow in volcanic soil with little water. Their flavor concentrated, their texture dense, they endure sun and wind. Harvested in summer, they are eaten fresh, preserved as paste, or dried in constancy. Fields extend across plains, vines low to ground, fruits aligned in rhythm. In markets, baskets filled, colors glowing, scent rising. The tomato is not novelty, it is persistence softened of sweetness. From tomatoes come tomato keftids, fritters prepared with batter, herbs, and onion. Shaped in constancy, fried in cycles, served in repetition. Crisp outside, soft inside, flavors aligned. Plate follows plate, rhythm unbroken. The fava of Santorini is not bean but split pea, grown in volcanic soil for millennia. Cooked into puree, seasoned with oil and onion, it becomes staple of table. Smooth in texture, golden in color, flavor deep and persistent. Bowls served in sequence, spoons moving in cycles, silence filling between. The dish does not dazzle, it endures. Capers grow wild on cliffs and walls, their buds collected in constancy, their leaves also preserved. Brined in jars, they add salt and sharpness, repeating across meals. Sprinkled on fava, added to salads, arranged in plates. The impression is not novelty, it is rhythm of preservation. Other vegetables follow rhythm, eggplants roasted, zucchini fried, peppers stuffed, herbs gathered, oils poured, bread baked. Meals prepared in cadence of season, dishes repeating across generations. The wines of Santorini accompany meals in constancy. Acertico poured in glasses, its mineral taste aligning with food. Vinzanto served as sweetness, its flavor concentrated. Each glass filled, raised, emptied, refilled. The rhythm persists unbroken. The tavernas of the island align with this cadence. Tables set in rows, chairs arranged in constancy, menus repeating familiar dishes. Meals served in sequence, bread placed, olives offered, main dishes arriving. Visitors eat in cycles, taste, pause, converse, continue. Lamps glow by night, waves audible near shore, silence filling between. The impression is calm, soporifero, persistent. The markets of Santorini display ingredients in rhythm. Tomatoes arranged in baskets, capers in jars, herbs bundled. Fish laid in rows on ice, cheeses stacked, breads aligned. Vendors call in intervals, buyers pause, examine, purchase. The market is not chaos, it is geometry softened to daily life. Among dishes, stuffed vine leaves or dolmades appear in constancy. Rice wrapped in leaves, flavored with herbs, cooked in sequence. Served in repetition, plates aligned. Each bite mirrors the next, each flavor persists. The meat and fish of Santorini appear in rhythm. Lamb roasted, chicken grilled, fish caught offshore, octopus dried in sun. Meals prepared with simplicity, flavors preserved, dishes repeating across seasons. The impression is not variety, but persistence of tradition. History shaped the gastronomy of Santorini. Scarcity of water, limited crops, volcanic soil shaped flavor, isolation preserved tradition. Over centuries, dishes repeated, flavors refined, meals persisted. Earthquakes passed, eruptions altered land, yet food endured. Gastronomy does not alter its essence, it repeats. By day, meals served in sunlight, tables set outdoors, shadows falling in constancy. By twilight, lamps glow, plates align, glasses filled. Night does not disrupt rhythm, it sustains. The table breathes in cadence. The sound of meals is subdued. Plates placed in rhythm, glasses clinked in intervals, voices drift. Silence fills between bites, wind moves across courtyards, bells ring from churches nearby. The impression is calm, soporiferal, unbroken. For the observer, Santorini's gastronomy is calm when seen in cadence. Tomatoes do not dazzle, they persist. Fava does not overwhelm, it repeats. Capers do not vary, they endure. Each impression resembles others, each rhythm persists. And so, the gastronomy of Santorini becomes another chapter in its rhythm. Ingredients are not chaos. They are geometry. Dishes are not spectacle, they are constancy. Meals are not novelty, they are repetition. In repetition lies calm. In calm lies rest. Across Santorini, the presence of churches and monasteries persists in rhythm. White walls align in constancy, domes curve in blue, bell towers rise in sequence. Large or small, in villages or on slopes, they repeat across the island, marking rhythm of devotion. The impression is not spectacle but cadence. Dome after dome, bell after bell, cross after cross. The villages of the Caldera are punctuated by churches. In Fira, domes align above terraces, their blue surfaces reflecting in light. In Oia, churches with white bell towers stand above narrow streets, their bells ringing in intervals, their crosses silhouetted against horizon. In Imerovigli, chapels cling to cliffs, their forms modest yet persistent. Each resembles the others, each impression repeats. The architecture is constant. Walls painted white, domes painted blue, bell towers with arches. Doors and windows trimmed in color, icons within glowing in gold. Lamps flicker in cycles, silence fills between. The impression is of geometry softened to devotion. Among the most significant stands the monastery of Prophetess Elias, high on the mountain that bears its name. Built in the 18th century, its walls rise in constancy, its courtyards enclosed, its views vast. From here, the island spreads below, Caldera to west, plains to east, sea encircling. The monastery breathes in rhythm, its bells ringing across horizon. The chapels of Santorini appear in repetition. Small, often with single dome and cross, built along paths, fields, or ridges. White walls glow in sunlight, shadows fall in constancy, doors painted in blue or brown. Some stand alone, others within villages, but all align in geometry. The island breathes devotion and cadence. The sound of churches is subdued. Bells ring in intervals, voices chant in rhythm, silence fills between. In monasteries, prayers unfold in cycles, candles lit, incense drifting. The impression is not spectacle. It is persistence. Inside, churches preserve icons and frescoes. Saints painted in sequence, colors glowing, gold reflecting. Icons align across walls, lamps flicker, silence persists. Rituals unfold in cadence. Prayer, chant, pause, repetition. Devotion is not chaos, it is geometry. History shapes Santorini's churches as continuity. Built across centuries, restored after earthquakes, preserved in tradition. Byzantine chapels endured, Venetian influences appeared, Orthodox forms persisted. Each church distinct, yet all dissolve into rhythm. Earthquakes damaged, but walls rebuilt, domes repainted, bells rehung, the rhythm unbroken. By day, churches glow in sunlight. White walls reflecting, blue domes shimmering, shadows falling. By twilight, lamps glow, bells ring softly, silence spreads. Night does not disrupt rhythm. It sustains. From cliffs and hills, churches align with landscape. On ridges, they punctuate horizon. On plains, they rise among vines. On cliffs, they cling above sea. Each placed in geometry, each dissolving into order. The impression is not novelty. It is persistence softened by devotion. The monastery of Agios Nikolaos between Fira and Imerovigli endures in rhythm. Founded in the 17th century, it preserves frescoes, manuscripts, and devotion. Courtyards align, arches repeat, bells ring. Visitors pause in silence, impressions persist. The monastery is not spectacle, it is constancy. The monastery of Agios Ionis Theologos, near Emporio, stands with white walls and blue dome, its form aligned with hills. Silence surrounds, bells ring in rhythm, wind moves across. The impression is calm, soporifero, unbroken. For the observer, Santorini's churches and monasteries are calm when seen in cadence. Domes do not dazzle, they repeat. Bell towers do not overwhelm, they align. Chapels do not vary, they persist. Each impression resembles others, each rhythm endures. And so, the churches and monasteries of Santorini become another chapter in its rhythm. Architecture is not chaos. It is geometry. Devotion is not spectacle, it is constancy. Presence is not novelty, it is persistence, and persistence lies calm. And calm lies rest. Santorini breathes not only through cliffs, vineyards, and churches, but also through its festivals and daily life, which unfold in rhythm. Days pass in cycles, marked by bells of churches, by meals shared in tavernas, by markets and constancy. Festivals repeat each year, rituals performed in sequence, music played in intervals. The impression is not spectacle but cadence. Gesture after gesture, custom after custom, season after season. The daily rhythm of the island remains simple. Morning begins with bells ringing, shops opening, footsteps echoing on stone. Markets fill with vegetables, fish and bread, voices rising and falling in cadence. Taverns prepare for midday meals, tables set in rows, chairs aligned in constancy. Afternoon slow, shadows lengthen, silence spreads. Evenings gather families and visitors around tables, glasses poured, dishes shared, conversations drifting in rhythm. Night returns to quiet, lamps glowing, bells ringing softly. The day repeats, unbroken. The markets display persistence of tradition. In Fira, Oia, or smaller villages, stalls align in rows, baskets filled with tomatoes, capers, and herbs. Fish laid on ice, bread arranged, cheeses stacked. Vendors call in intervals, buyers pause, select, purchase. The market breathes in cadence, not chaos. The festivals of Santorini follow religious calendar. Feasts of saints, Easter celebrations, harvest rituals. Each year, processions unfold in sequence, churches decorated, bells ringing in constancy. Icons carried through streets, hymns chanted in rhythm, candles glowing. Crowds gather in cadence, silence alternating with chant. The impression is not novelty, but repetition across centuries. During Easter, the island glows with lamps and candles. Churches fill with prayer, bells ring in constancy, hymns rise. At midnight, light spreads from flame to flame, pass from candle to candle until streets glow. Fireworks crackle, voices cheer, silence returns. The ritual repeats each year, cycle unbroken. Other festivals mark harvest of grapes and wine. Songs sung in courtyards, music played in intervals, wine poured in glasses. Dance unfolds in rhythm, steps repeating, hands joining. Instruments echo, voices rise, silence follows. The impression is not chaos but cadence of tradition. Music permeates daily life. Bouzouki strings plucked in rhythm, lyra played in intervals, drums echoing softly. Songs of love, work, and devotion repeated across generations. In tavernas, musicians play in cadence, visitors listen, meals unfold. The sound is subdued, calm, soporifero. The houses of villages preserve rhythm of life. Courtyards shaded, kitchens simple, bread baked, meals shared. Work unfolds in fields or shops, children play in alleys, elders sit in silence. Conversation rises and falls, gestures repeat, silence fills between. Life is not spectacle, it is constancy. The wine harvest each autumn follows ritual. Grapes cut in sequence, baskets filled, presses turning. Juice flows in constancy, fermentation begins, barrels aligned. Families gather, meals prepared, songs sung. The cycle repeats each year, unbroken. In summer, tourism overlays daily rhythm, yet does not erase it. Visitors fill streets, shops open in sequence, boats depart in intervals. But beneath, tradition persists. Bells ringing, meals shared, prayers offered. The island breathes in its own cadence, enduring beyond novelty. The sound of festivals is ordered. Bells ringing, chants unfolding, music playing, silence filling between. Voices rise and fade, footsteps echo, wind moves across. The impression is not chaos, it is persistence of rhythm. By day, daily life glows in sunlight. Markets active, courtyards shaded, children playing. By twilight, lamps glow, music plays, meals unfold. By night, silence spreads, bells ring softly. The cycle repeats, season after season. History shaped daily life as continuity. Empires changed, rulers passed, earthquakes struck, yet rhythm persisted. Churches rebuilt, houses restored, vineyards replanted, festivals resumed, meals continued, markets opened. Santorini does not alter in essence, it repeats. For the observer, Santorini's life is calm when seen in cadence. Festivals do not dazzle, they repeat. Music does not overwhelm, it aligns. Meals do not vary, they persist. Each impression resembles the others, each rhythm endures. And so, the festivals and daily life of Santorini become another chapter in its rhythm. Ritual is not chaos, it is geometry. Celebration is not spectacle, it is constancy. Life is not novelty, it is persistence. And persistence lies calm, and calm lies rest. As the sun descends toward the horizon, Santorini shifts in light, yet not in essence. The island breathes in constancy, its form softening, its rhythms unbroken. Houses of white begin to glow in muted tones. Domes darken into silhouettes. Lamps flicker along terraces. Twilight spreads across Caldera and plain, dissolving the island into calm. In Fira, terraces fill with quiet presence. Restaurants light lamps in intervals, tables set in rhythm, glasses reflecting glow. Streets narrow into shadow, shops close in sequence, footsteps echo on stone. The caldera below darkens, its waters shimmering with last light, ferries crossing in cycles. The impression is not spectacle, but cadence of transition. In Oia, visitors gather at walls and terraces, awaiting sunset. The sun descends in constancy, colors shifting in cycles, gold, orange, red, violet. Cliffs turn to shadow, domes outlined against sky, windmills glowing in contrast. Applause may rise, yet the essence is repetition. Each evening the sun sets, each day dissolves into night, each cycle unbroken. The sunset is not novelty, it is persistence soft into glow. In Imerovigli, the cliffs quiet, Scaros rock darkens, lamps appear along paths. Silence spreads, interrupted only by bells ringing softly, footsteps passing in intervals. Views extend unbroken, horizon dissolves into night. The impression is calm, soporiferal, persistent. In Pyrgos, the hilltop fortress glows with lamps, its walls illuminated in constancy. Streets narrow into shadow, courtyards lit by single bulbs, conversations drifting in intervals. From the summit, horizon encircles, villages below shimmering in scattered lights. Twilight dissolves into order, persistence unbroken. The sea reflects transition. Waters shimmer with final sunlight. Waves strike in cycles. Boats return to harbors. Lights appear on decks, ferries illuminated, reflections rippling. The caldera breathes in cadence, night approaching in silence. The churches of the island glow at twilight. Bells ring in intervals, lamps lit within, domes outlined against darkening sky. In Oia and Fira and Megalochori, chapels glow in constancy, crosses silhouetted, icons illuminated, silence spreading. Devotion persists in rhythm, unbroken by night. The sound of twilight is subdued. Voices soften, footsteps slow, bells echo faintly. Wind moves across terraces, waves strike in constancy, silence fills between. Music drifts from tavernas, strings plucked in rhythm, voices singing in cycles. The impression is not chaos. It is cadence of calm. By twilight, vineyards darken, leaves fading into shadow, baskets blending into soil. Wineries light lamps, glasses filled in sequence, conversations subdued. Meals unfold in cadence, bread placed, wine poured, dishes shared. Night sustains rhythm, silence surrounds. The cliffs of the Caldera dissolve into silhouettes. Villages glow in constancy. Fira, Oia, Imerovigli, their lamps aligned along ridge. Reflections ripple on sea, boats illuminated below. Horizon fades into dark, stars appear in repetition. Twilight does not disrupt rhythm. It sustains. History also breathes at twilight. Akrotiri beneath ash, ancient Thera on ridge, castles of Pyrgos and Emporio, each one saw sunsets, each dissolved into night. Centuries passed, yet twilight repeated, unbroken in cycle. Memory itself aligns with rhythm of light. For the observer, Santorini at twilight is calm when seen in cadence. Villages do not dazzle, they glow. Sunsets do not overwhelm, they repeat. Lights do not vary, they persist. Each impression resembles the others, each rhythm endures. And so twilight becomes another chapter in Santorini's rhythm. Day is not chaos, it is geometry. Sunset is not spectacle, it is constancy. Night is not novelty, it is persistence. In persistence lies calm, in calm lies rest. The island of Santorini sustains not only cliffs and houses, but also vines. Across slopes, terraces, and plains, vineyards extend, their geometry distinct, their rhythm unbroken. Unlike vineyards of other lands, here vines are trained low, arranged in circles, woven close to earth. The form is not spectacle, it is persistence. Vine after vine, circle after circle, year after year. The Assyrtiko grape defines the island. Its skin thick, its flavor sharp, its endurance remarkable. In soil volcanic, with ash, pumice, and lava fragments, Assyrtiko grows. Roots extend deep, seeking water stored in rock. Leaves spread close to ground, capturing dew. Grapes ripen in sun, clusters dense, harvest measured. Assyrtiko does not dazzle. It persists in rhythm of land. The vineyards of Santorini differ in form. Instead of trellises high, instead of rows straight, here vines are trained into baskets, circles woven low. Called Caldera, these shapes protect grapes from wind, from sun, from sand. Within circles, grapes cluster hidden safe. From above, fields appear as patterns repeated, circles aligned, geometry constant. Vineyard is not novelty, it is constancy of adaptation. The harvest follows rhythm. Workers bend, step after step, circle after circle, cutting clusters, placing in baskets. Movement slow, repeated, measured. Grapes collected, transported, pressed. Wine made in cycles, year after year, generation after generation. Harvest is not chaos. It is geometry of labor. The wineries of Santorini preserve cadence. Some modern stainless steel barrels aligned. Others traditional, caves cut into rock, vats carved, amphorae stored. Walls cool, air steady, silence broad. Wine rests in barrels, fermenting, aging, repeating cycle. Cellar is not spectacle. It is persistence of patience. The flavor of Santorini wine is distinct. Assyrtiko sharp, mineral, dry, reflecting volcanic soil. Notes of citrus, salt, stone. Other varieties include Akrotiri and Adani, softer, blending with Asotico. Sweet wines, Vinsanto, made from sun-dried grapes, flavors dense, colors amber. Each sip reflects land, sea, wind. Flavor is not variety. It is persistence of origin. The history of wine in Santorini extends far. For centuries, vines cultivated, wine traded, amphorae shipped across Aegean. Venetians praised, Ottomans taxed, merchants carried. Despite eruptions, despite decline, vineyards endured. Today, production smaller, quality high, rhythm unbroken. History is not spectacle, it is constancy of practice. The sound of vineyards is subdued. Wind moving through leaves, footsteps on soil, shears cutting clusters. In cellars, liquid poured, barrels tapped, silence broad. Noise becomes pattern, pattern dissolves into calm. The light defines vineyards. Morning pale, dew shining, leaves silver. Midday sharp, sun strong, shadows short. Twilight muted, grapes glowing, air soft. Night sustained, stars broad, silence deep. Light does not alter essence, it repeats. The landscape shaped by vineyards mirrors geometry. Circles aligned, terraces carved, walls built. Fields stretch, villages beyond, sea distant. From above, patterns visible. From within, repetition constant. Vineyard is not spectacle, it is persistence softened to calm. The ritual of drinking mirrors rhythm. Wine poured, glass lifted, sip taken. Gesture repeated, flavor constant, silence sustained. At taverns, wine served with bread, cheese, fish. At homes, wine poured for guests, conversations low. Ritual is not chaos. It is geometry of hospitality. The memory of wine endures beyond glass. Travelers recall terraces, vines, circles. Flavor remembered, taste persisting, rhythm sustained. Wine does not dazzle. It aligns with land, with sea, with island. From above, vineyards of Santorini appear as circles across slopes, patterns woven, surfaces pale. From within, they dissolve into cadence, vine after vine, leaf after leaf, grape after grape. The impression is not spectacle. It is persistence softened into calm. For the observer, wine of Santorini is calm when seen in rhythm. Assyrtiko does not overwhelm, it aligns. Caldera does not dazzle, it repeats. Vineyard does not vary, it persists. Each impression mirrors the others, each rhythm endures. And so, wine of Santorini becomes another chapter in island's cadence. Vineyard is not chaos, it is geometry. Flavor is not spectacle, it is constancy. Tradition is not novelty, it is persistence. And persistence lies calm. In calm lies rest. The island of Santorini sustains not only cliffs, churches, and vineyards, but also flavors. Across kitchens, taverns, and markets, food is prepared in cycles, served in rhythm, consumed in calm. Gastronomy here is not spectacle, it is persistence. Plate after plate, bread after bread, sip after sip. The markets reveal this constancy first. Stalls with tomatoes, cucumbers, onions, herbs, baskets of capers, olives, figs. Fish displayed on ice, silver shining, bodies aligned. Bread stacked in loaves, rounds repeating, crusts crisp. Vendors call in intervals, buyers pause, gestures repeated. Market is not chaos. It is geometry of sustenance. The tomatoes of Santorini are distinct. Small, thick-skinned, grown in volcanic soil, watered by morning dew, enduring in heat and wind. Their flavor sharp, concentrated, used in salads, sauces, fritters. The dish called tomato keftids reflects rhythm of island. Tomatoes chopped, mixed with herbs, onions, flour, fried slowly. Served warm, crisp outside, soft within. Bite after bite, flavor persistent, tomato does not dazzle, it sustains. The fava of Santorini is not bean but yellow split pea, cultivated for centuries, cooked in repetition. Seeds soaked, boiled, mashed, seasoned with oil, onion, lemon. Texture smooth, flavor earthy, dish constant. Served as spread, eaten with bread, paired with wine. Fava does not vary. It persists, a fish-defined meals as in all Cyclades. Caught daily, displayed in rows, cooked simply. Sardines grilled, octopus dried and roasted, sea bream baked whole. Preparation minimal, flavor pure, cycle repeated. Fish is not novelty. It is persistence of sea. The bread accompanies every meal. Loaves round, crusts crisp, interior soft. Baked in wood-fired ovens, flour measured, water mixed, dough kneaded, baked, cooled. Bread broken, dipped in oil, eaten with cheese, fava, fish. Its presence constant, its rhythm unbroken. Bread is not spectacle. It is geometry of sustenance. The sweets extend rhythm. Melatonia, pastries filled with cheese, flavored with mastic, baked in repetition. Cofedo, almonds boiled in honey, given at weddings, gestures of hospitality. Baklava, layers of phyllo, nuts, syrup, arranged in sequence. Sweetness does not dazzle, it sustains. The drinks align with meals. Wine poured, Asertico dry, Vinzanto sweet, flavors reflecting land. Ouzo served, diluted with water, turning pale, sipped slowly. Coffee prepared strong, served in small cups, sugar varied. Drink is not chaos, it is persistence of ritual. The sound of meals is subdued. Knife cutting, bread breaking, oil poured, spoon stirring. Voices low, laughter brief, silence filling between. Noise becomes pattern, pattern dissolves into calm. The light defines meals. Morning pale, bread and coffee, sun rising. Midday bright, tomatoes and fish, air heavy. Evening soft, wine and fava, lamps glowing. Night sustained, sweet served, silence broad. Light does not alter essence, it repeats. The history of cuisine endures. Minoans cultivated peas, Greeks pressed olives, Byzantines baked bread, Venetians traded spices, Ottomans influenced sweets. Centuries pass, recipes repeated, meals sustained. Today taverns serve same flavors, gestures unbroken. History is not spectacle, it is constancy of taste. The ritual of eating is constant. Families gather, dishes placed, bread shared. Guests welcomed, wine poured, plates offered. Visitors served in taverns, meals slow, rhythm steady. Eating is not novelty. It is persistence of community. From above, gastronomy of Santorini appears as cycles across tables, plates repeating, flavors aligned. From within, it dissolves into cadence. Bite after bite, sip after sip, gesture after gesture. The impression is not spectacle. It is persistence softened to calm. For the observer, food of Santorini is calm when seen in rhythm. Tomatoes do not overwhelm. They align. Fava does not dazzle, it repeats. Fish does not vary. It persists, bread endures, sweets extend, wine sustains. Each impression mirrors the others, each rhythm endures. And so, gastronomy of Santorini becomes another chapter in Island's cadence. Meal is not chaos. It is geometry. Flavor is not spectacle, it is constancy. Hospitality is not novelty, it is persistence. In persistence lies calm, and calm lies rest. The island of Santorini is shaped not only by sea and settlement, but also by its nature. Land formed by eruption, surface covered in volcanic rock, slopes descending into sea. Nature here is not variety but persistence, not chaos but geometry. Hill after hill, shrub after shrub, stone after stone. The terrain of Santorini is volcanic. Cliffs rise steep, layers visible, black, red, white. Rocks angular, surfaces sharp, soil thin. Valleys shallow, plains narrow, slopes covered with ash. Land harsh yet enduring. Each layer tells memory of eruption. Each fragment echoes persistence of time. Terrain is not spectacle. It is constancy of form. The flora is sparse yet adapted. Low shrubs spread across slopes, roots deep, leaves small. Thyme grows in clusters, oregano spreads, sage persists. Their scent strong, carried by wind, released in heat. Olive trees scattered, trunks twisted, leaves silver. Vines trained low, circles woven, grapes hidden. Fig trees near houses, branches wide, fruit ripening in cycles. Flora does not dazzle. It endures. The fauna mirrors persistence. Goats graze on hills, their steps steady, calls low. Birds circle above, wings broad, cries brief. Insects move among shrubs, sounds faint, presence constant. Life small, enduring, measured. Fauna is not chaos. It is rhythm of survival. The wind moves across island, constant, shaping land and life. Gusts rise, pass, return. Air carries scents of herbs, grains of sand, salt from sea. Houses built with walls thick, windows small, doors narrow to resist. Vines trained low, baskets woven, grapes protected. Wind is not novelty, it is geometry of air. The sound of nature is subdued. Wind moving through shrubs, waves lapping on shore, birds calling in intervals. Footsteps on rock, goats grazing, silence expanding. Noise becomes pattern, pattern dissolves into calm. The light defines landscape. Morning pale, cliffs glowing, shadows long. Midday sharp, surfaces bright, colors deep. Twilight muted, tone soft, sea reflecting. Night sustained, stars broad, silence wide. Light does not alter essence. It repeats in cycles. The geology of Santorini reflects history, formed by eruption, reshaped by collapse, Caldera filled with sea. Nea Kameni black, Palea Kameni dark, islands volcanic. Stones sharp, soil thin, yet land persists. Layers visible, surfaces repeating, geometry unbroken. Geology is not spectacle, it is persistence of memory. The paths across island mirror terrain. Trails cut into slopes, stones aligned, walls marking. Walkers move slowly, step after step, shadow after shadow. Paths connect villages, fields, shores. Rhythm steady, silence broad. Path is not chaos. It is geometry of movement. The gardens near houses reflect adaptation. Small plots enclosed by stone walls, soil turned, plants grown, herbs cultivated, vegetables planted, trees shading. Water scarce, poured carefully, cycle repeated. Garden is not spectacle. It is constancy of care. The horizons expand across island. From cliffs, sea stretches, islands faint. From hills, caldera broad, villages white, sky infinite. From shore, cliffs rising, slopes dark, waves constant. Horizon does not vary. It persists in distance. The seasons alter tones, yet not rhythm. Spring brief, flowers blooming, colors soft. Summer long, sun sharp, air dry. Autumn muted, winds heavy, tones pale. Winter cool, rains few, nights long. Seasons repeat, cycles unbroken, persistence constant. The history of nature endures. Eruption formed land, people adapted, life sustained. Crops planted, animals grazed, homes built, vineyards arranged, terraces cut, wells dug. Centuries passed, eruptions returned, yet life persisted. History of nature is not chaos, it is geometry of survival. From above, Santorini appears as arc of cliffs, sea within, land bare. From within, it dissolves into cadence, rock after rock, shrub after shrub, gust after gust. The impression is not spectacle. It is persistence softened to calm. For the observer, nature of Santorini is calm when seen in rhythm. Hills do not overwhelm, they align. Flora does not dazzle, it repeats. Wind does not vary, it persists. Each impression mirrors the others, each rhythm endures. And so, nature of Santorini becomes another chapter, an island's cadence. Land is not chaos, it is geometry. Flora is not spectacle, it is constancy. Wind is not novelty, it is persistence. In persistence lies calm, and calm lies rest. The island of Santorini sustains two rhythms, one marked by the arrival of visitors, the other by the persistence of silence. These rhythms do not conflict, but alternate, like day and night, like sea and wind. The contrast is not abrupt, it is measured. One dissolves into the other, cycle after cycle, season after season. The tourist hours begin when ferries dock, when airplanes land, when buses ascend from port. Streets of Fira and Oia fill, footsteps echo, voices rise. Shops open, doors unlatched, goods displayed. Jewelry gleams, fabrics arranged, ceramics aligned. Taverns prepared, tables set, menus presented. Movement grows, noise accumulates, yet all repeats in sequence. Tourism is not chaos, it is geometry of presence. By midday, rhythm peaks, streets crowded, cameras lifted, views sought. Balconies occupied, cafes filled, buses arriving, departing. Crowds gather at edges, gazing into Caldera, waiting for light. Heat strong, shadows short, air heavy. Even in density, repetition sustains. Step after step, view after view, gesture after gesture. Midday is not novelty, it is persistence and activity. The evenings bring ritual of sunset. Visitors gather in Oia, along walls, on terraces, at cafes. Cameras ready, voices low, expectation high. Sun descends, sea glows, cliffs soften. Applause rises as light fades, then silence returns. Sunset is not spectacle. It is repetition of day's end. Night follows, lamps lit, streets glowing, taverns full. In contrast, the morning sustained calm. Streets empty, shops closed, doors latched. Cats move along alleys, birds call, wind shifts. White houses glow in pale light, blue domes shine softly, sea reflects silver. Few walkers move, steps slow, air cool. Silence expands, calm persists. Morning is not variety. It is constancy of rest. By dawn, fishermen return from sea, nets hauled, boats anchored, catches displayed. Movement steady, gestures repeated, silence broad. Bakers open ovens, bread stacked, scent spreading. Market stalls arranged, goods aligned, rhythm slow. Morning sustains life without spectacle, persistence without noise. The sound of contrast is measured. By day, voices, footsteps, music from taverns. By night, laughter, glasses clinking, lamps glowing. By morning, waves lapping, birds calling, silence prevailing. Noise becomes pattern, pattern dissolves into calm. The light alternates with rhythm. Midday sharp, streets bright, shadows short. Sunset muted, tone soft, sea glowing. Night glowing, lamps aligned, windows bright. Morning pale, houses radiant, sky pale. Light is not variety, it is persistence of cycle. The function of contrast is balance. Without visitors, island quiet. Without calm, island unmeasured. Together, they sustain rhythm of Santorini. Crowds and silence, noise and calm, alternating, repeating. Balance is not chaos, it is geometry of time. The history of contrast is long. For centuries, islanders lived in silence, cultivating, fishing, trading. Visitors arrived as pilgrims, merchants, travelers. Later, tourism expanded, hotels built, taverns filled. Yet mornings remain as before, calm, steady, silent. Tourism did not erase rhythm. It joined cycle. From above, Santorini at midday appears dense, streets filled, terraces bright. By morning, island pale, calm, horizon infinite. From within, both dissolve into cadence. Step after step, pause after pause, silence after silence. The impression is not spectacle, it is persistence softened into calm. For the observer, contrast of Santorini is calm when seen in rhythm. Crowds do not overwhelm, they align. Silence does not dazzle. It repeats. Tourism does not vary essence. It persists within cycle. Each impression mirrors the others. Each rhythm endures. And so the contrasts of Santorini become another chapter on island's cadence. Day is not chaos. It is geometry. Night is not spectacle. It is constancy. Morning is not novelty. It is persistence. And persistence lies calm. And calm lies rest. The island of Santorini does not exist in isolation. It is part of the Cyclades, an archipelago of islands aligned across the Aegean. Each island distinct, each sustaining rhythm, each repeating presence. Excursions outward are not abrupt. They are continuations. Boat after boat, horizon after horizon, cycle after cycle. The ferries depart from Athenio's port or from small harbors. Engines hum, ropes loosen, wakes spread across water. Decks crowded, cabins quiet, passengers seated, steps measured. Sea stretches, islands rise, horizon shifts. Travel is not chaos. It is geometry of passage. Closest lies Theracia, fragment of Caldera facing Santorini across sea. Its slopes steep, its villages sparse, its silence broad. Houses white, doors blue, paths narrow. Life simple, rhythm slow, presence steady. Few visitors walk, few shops open, taverns few. Yet horizon vast, views wide, silence deep. Theracia does not dazzle, it persists in calm. To the east lies Anafi, small, isolated, cliffs rising, sea surrounding. Village of chorus, its high, houses clustered, wind strong. Paths cut across hills, monasteries perched, silence expanding. Beaches simple, sand pale, waters clear. Few visitors arrive, fewer remain, rhythm unbroken. Anafi is not spectacle. It is persistence of solitude. To the north lies Ios, larger, known for contrasts. By day, beaches long, waters calm, visitors scattered. By night, town bright, music rising, voices repeating. Houses white, streets winding, churches many. Life alternates, rhythm constant. Ios is not chaos, it is geometry of contrast. To the northwest lies Naxos, the largest of Cyclades, its land broad, its mountains high, its fields fertile. Villages spread across slopes, houses pale, towers medieval. Partara, great marble doorway, rises by harbor, monument of memory. Fields cultivated, cheeses made, citrus grown. Naxos is not novelty. It is persistence of abundance. The sound of excursion is subdued. Engines low, waves lapping, gulls calling. Voices brief, footsteps slow, silence returning. Noise becomes pattern. Pattern dissolves into calm. The light defines islands. Morning pale, horizon silver, surfaces soft. Midday sharp, cliffs bright, waters turquoise. Twilight muted, tones gentle, lamps glowing. Night sustained, stars above, sea dark, silence broad. Light does not dazzle, it repeats in cycle. The history of Cyclades aligns. Each island held temples, churches, castles. Each saw Greeks, Romans, Byzantines, Venetians, Ottomans. Each traded, cultivated, endured. Centuries passed, rulers shifted, yet rhythm persisted. Islands distinct, but cadence united. The movement of excursion mirrors rhythm of island. Visitor boards, travels, lands, walks, returns. Boat departs, boat arrives, boat repeats. Travel is not spectacle. It is persistence of connection. From above, Cyclades appear as dots across sea, aligned in constancy, white against blue. From within, they dissolve into cadence. Island after island, path after path, silence after silence. The impression is not spectacle. It is persistence softened into calm. For the observer, excursions beyond Santorini are calm when seen in rhythm. Theracia does not overwhelm. It aligns. Anafi does not dazzle. It repeats. Ios does not vary. It persists. Naxos expands, yet rhythm unbroken. Each impression mirrors the others, each rhythm endures. And so, excursions beyond Santorini become another chapter in Cadence of Cyclades. Travel is not chaos, it is geometry. Horizon is not spectacle, it is constancy. Distance is not novelty, it is persistence. In persistence lies calm, and calm lies rest. The island of Santorini is not only geography, not only settlement, but also image. Across centuries, it has entered memory, imagination, literature, and art. Its cliffs recorded, its sunsets painted, its ruins studied, its name repeated. Santorini is not spectacle, it is persistence of vision. Word after word, picture after picture, memory after memory. The myth of Santorini begins in eruption. In antiquity, land shattered, sea entered, Caldera formed. Some believe this event inspired Thales of Atlantis, island moss, city submerged. Whether true or not, story persisted. Travelers told, scholars debated, poets wrote. Myth is not certainty. It is rhythm of imagination. The literature of Santorini spans travelers' accounts, guides, poems. Ancient writers noted eruptions, geography, commerce. Later, Venetian records described harbors, churches, fortresses. In modern centuries, travelers wrote of cliffs, villages, sunsets. Descriptions repeated, details varied, rhythm constant. Literature does not dazzle, it sustains memory. The art of Santorini mirrors cadence. Painters recorded villages white, domes blue, cliffs red. Canvases aligned, brushstrokes repeated, tones softened. Photographers later captured same views, horizons broad, lamps glowing, sea silver, images spread, reproduced, multiplied. Each picture variation of same, each repetition sustaining myth. Art is not chaos, it is geometry of vision. The archaeology contributes to imagination. Ruins of Akrotiri preserved, frescoes uncovered, figures painted. Walls intact, streets visible, objects found. Each discovery recorded, studied, displayed. Visitors imagine lives past, gestures repeated, silence sustained. Archaeology does not alter essence, it persists in fragments. The tourism of Santorini extends myth. Travelers arrive expecting cliffs, sunsets, villages. They photograph, share, repeat. Image becomes memory, memory becomes expectation, expectation sustains rhythm. Island does not resist, it aligns. Tourism is not spectacle. It is persistence of vision. The sound of memory is subdued. Pages turned, pens moving, cameras clicking, voices low. Noise becomes pattern, pattern dissolves into calm. The light defines imagination, morning pale, words written, pictures drawn. Midday sharp, photographs taken, colors deep. Twilight muted, canvases painted, lamps glowing. Night sustained, memories recalled, stories told. Light does not dazzle. It repeats in cycles of vision. The function of imagination is persistence. Santorini enters thought, remains, returns. Travelers recall cliffs, domes, Caldera. Artists depict, writers describe, visitors remember. Each layer sustains, each memory repeats. Imagination is not novelty. It is constancy of vision. The history of myth is layered. From Atlantis to Akrotiri, from Venetian accounts to modern guides, stories accumulated. Each generation added, each traveler repeated, each artist depicted. Centuries pass, rhythm unbroken. Myth is not chaos. It is geometry of narrative. From above, Santorini appears as form within sea, cliffs curving, villages aligned. From within, it dissolves into cadence, picture after picture, word after word, story after story. The impression is not spectacle. It is persistence softened into calm. For the observer, memory of Santorini is calm when seen in rhythm. Myth does not overwhelm, it aligns. Art does not dazzle, it repeats. Literature does not vary, it persists. Each impression mirrors the others, each rhythm endures. And so Santorini in memory and imagination becomes another chapter in Island's cadence. Myth is not chaos, it is geometry. Art is not spectacle, it is constancy. Literature is not novelty, it is persistence. In persistence lies calm, in calm lies rest. Santorini extends in layers, cliffs and caldera, domes and bell towers, vineyards and fields, markets and tavernas. Seen village by village, shore by shore, church by church, it appears varied, yet at the close, the island dissolves into rhythm. Not Fira or Oia, not Pyrgos or Emporio, not Red Beach or Black Beach. The island entire. Geometry unbroken, cadence without boundary, persistence softened into calm. The villages align across slopes and plains. White walls glow in constancy, blue domes curve in repetition, bell towers rise in rhythm. Streets narrow, courtyards open, terraces descend. Shadows fall in sequence, lamps glow in intervals, silence spreads. Villages do not overwhelm. They align. The churches punctuate in cadence. Domes resembling one another, crosses repeating, bells ringing in intervals. Chapels stand on ridges, monasteries rise on hills, icons glow within. Ritual persists unbroken, prayer unfolds in cycles, devotion dissolves into silence. The vineyards extend across plains, vines coiled in baskets, leaves curving in rhythm, grapes ripening in cycles. Harvest repeats each year, presses turn, wines poured. Bottles align, glasses raised, flavors persist. Vineyards do not dazzle, they endure. The markets and tavernas breathe in daily cadence. Stalls align, goods displayed in rows, voices calling in intervals. Tables set, dishes served, meals shared. Conversations rise and fade, silence fills between. Life continues in repetition, unbroken in essence. The archaeological sites remain in persistence. Streets of Akrotiri frozen in time, ruins of ancient Thera aligned on ridge. Stones endure, frescoes shimmer, vessels stand. Memory repeats across centuries, unaltered in essence. History does not dazzle, it persists. The sea surrounds in constancy. Waves strike in cycles, reflections shimmer, boats cross in intervals. By day, waters glisten in light. By night, they reflect stars in repetition. Horizon remains unbroken, dissolving into silence. Sea does not vary, it persists. The sunsets dissolve each day. Colors shift in cycles, gold to red, violet to dark. Villages glow, lamps shimmer, waters reflect. Applause may rise, but the essence is repetition. Sunset returns, day after day, unbroken in rhythm. The sounds of Santorini soften into cadence. Bells ringing, waves striking, footsteps echoing, voices drifting. Silence filling between, wind moving across, music fading. Sound becomes rhythm, rhythm dissolves into calm. From above, Santorini dissolves into geometry. Cliffs curving an arc, villages aligned, domes punctuating, vineyards extending. From within, it softens into repetition. Step after step, shadow after shadow, reflection after reflection. The impression is not variety. It is constancy. History also dissolves into rhythm. Eruption forming caldera, settlement rising, destruction recurring, restoration repeating. Centuries pass, empires shift, yet island persists. Stones endure, vines grow, churches stand. Memory aligns with cadence, unbroken in essence. For the observer, Santorini ceases to overwhelm when seen in cadence. Villages do not dazzle, they repeat. Churches do not overwhelm, they align. Cliffs do not vary, they persist. Each impression mirrors the others, each rhythm endures, and so the guide closes. Santorini, immense yet calm, varied yet constant, dissolves into rhythm. Village after village, church after church, vine after vine, stone after stone. Each chapter complete, each absorbed into cadence. The words soften. The impressions blur. The island itself becomes rest. Santorini dissolves into cliffs. Santorini dissolves into domes. Santorini dissolves into sea. Cliff after cliff, dome after dome, wave after wave. Step after step, silence after silence. The rhythm slows. The cadence softens, the impressions fade, the island persists. The island rests, the island dissolves, and then silence, and then calm, and then sleep.